You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. Nice kitty. Good morning, everybody. It's Stephen here for The Idiot Quilter and Bland Designs, and welcome to my weekly vlog for Monday, August the 7th, 2023, and it's vlog number 324. And I hope all my Canadian subscribers are enjoying their long weekend, although the weather's been a little bit sketchy as far as rain is concerned. But this is, for those of you that aren't from Canada, this is a long weekend here in Canada for a variety of reasons. Here in Ontario, we call it Lord Simcoe Day, or the Civic holiday weekend. I believe out in Nova Scotia, they call it National Day. In BC, they have another name for it. So pretty much every province, with I think the exception of Newfoundland and the Territories, have declared this a long weekend, the first weekend in August. So anyways, that marks the halfway point for us in the Northern Hemisphere and in Canada, especially, of the summer months. Yep, we only get 2 months of summer, July and August. We're lucky if those even are like summer. So, yeah. And this used to be the time of the year when I'd start thinking about going back to school. I'd start doing some planning. Actually, I got better at it as the years went by. I managed to get most of my planning and prep work all done in the tail end of June, when the kids were writing exams and stuff like that. And that meant I had only a minimal amount of work I had to do the week before school went in. So, yeah, in my early days, though, the whole month of August was nothing but planning and preparing packages and getting things ready. Ugh. I am glad those days are behind me. I can tell you that right now. It's hard to believe that coming the start of this September, I've been away from a classroom for 11 years. Yeah, I retired in 2012. It's hard to believe. Yeah, actually, it's more like, would that be my 12th? I don't know. Well, anyways, when you're retired, those things don't bother you anymore. Yeah. Okay, let's talk about what I've been bothered with, and here it is. I finished the cat scratch quilt. This was the pattern by Art East Quilting Company. Did I enjoy putting this together? Well, yes and no. And there are many reasons for that. In fact, there are many things I learned from this quilt, which are things that you wouldn't think I would have learned from doing this quilt, that go a little bit beyond just the physical putting together of the fabric for this. But right now, the top is done, and I have an idea how I want to quilt this, and later today I will be getting that pattern together, and I need to clean Lucy, that's my long arm, and get her all prepped and ready to go, and maybe sometime this week I will get this quilted, and then I just have to bind it, and it is done. But it is cute. I will say that for it as well. But there were many, many complications and problems along the way, and if you're interested in knowing what those were, I'm going to talk about them in much more detail tomorrow on The Idiot Quilter. And so, have I started other projects? Yes, I have. In fact, just before I started recording this morning, I was making my list of things that I want to get to today. Those include getting started on the final process of getting my gift mug rugs that I'm taking to the retreat I'm going to in December. Start putting the backs on those and finalizing those. I've started another in the hoop project. You can see just over my right shoulder there some little red strips and things. You can't see it very well. That's the beginning of a winter table runner, doing it all in the hoop. My printers are uncharacteristically quiet this morning because they aren't running, and they haven't been running for the last 2 days. Not because they're broken. It's because I got what I wanted to get done. Now, I have to take a look at that today and see to make sure I've got exactly what I need done. I think there's a couple more things I need to get done on that I've been working on since about January. Yeah, and this is August. And clean the machines up, as I said, and, figure out what the next major projects are going to be on the 3D printers. And I got to start looking at a Christmas quilt. I've had this pattern for this quilt for quite some time, and I need to go through my stash of fabrics to make sure I have enough of what I want to use to do this and get started on it as well. Yes, it's August. I'm already behind in Christmas sewing. And those of you that are sewers and quilters, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, let us talk then about the YouTube channel of the week. Now, if you're interested in the history of homes, usually the homes that are owned by the fabulously rich and that kind of thing, if you're interested in architecture as well, then you'll probably be interested in this YouTube channel. It's called This House. This week's YouTube channel of the week is called This House, and it is all about houses. If you are interested in historical homes of the rich and the famous, or just really nice properties that have been marked as possibly historical sites, then you'll want to check this one out. This deals primarily with houses and real estate that are located in the United States, but they're very, very interesting episodes. As you can see here, what is this in the Mississippi River? What happened to Millionaire's Row in Detroit? Frank Lloyd Wright's Falling Water, The Mystery of America's Second Largest Home, Shadowbrook, etc. And if you take a look at their playlist, you can see there is quite a selection of mansions and other estates that, you may never ever had a chance to go and see. And in many cases, some of these places don't exist anymore, so they have old film footage or old pictures showing you what these were all about. So I find it really interesting, and if you enjoy history and you enjoy architecture, or you just want to see how the rich and the famous from a gone by era lived, then check out This House. The link for This House is in the show notes below, as is the link for this coming Wednesday's Sew with Stephanie and Stephen. That starts at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. And there was a little bit of confusion, and I understand why there was some confusion. Sometimes I have more than one Zoom link in the show notes. And last week I had the pop-up sew day there, and I think a few of you may have accidentally clicked on the link for the pop-up sew day, which was Saturday, and not on the link for the Wednesday Stephanie and Stephen sewing. And sorry about that. What can I say? Read or whatever on that. So yeah, just to let you know, Zoom sends me an email when someone is trying to get into one of my Zoom links that isn't actually live yet. So this is how I know that somebody hit the wrong button and who they are. And if I have their email address, I just drop you a note and go, hi, wrong link. Here's the right link. Okay. But just be careful. I know it can be confusing when there's multiple ones there. This week, no confusion. In the show notes, one link, and that's the one for Stephanie and Stephen for our sewing session on Wednesday morning. Okay, there is a list for all of my friends' channels, and you've probably heard this many times before, and you're going to hear it from me right now again. Usually YouTube creators somewhere in their video are asking you to please subscribe, that it helps them out, and it does. YouTube's algorithms are very complex. And the way that they recognize a YouTube channel is dependent on multiple factors. Now, of course, they're doing this not because they give a, about us, the creators. They do that to get their advertising out there because they get paid for advertising from companies that want to advertise with them. And so they tend to place close, rise to the top or become more like, you've seen that thing says recommended for you kind of a thing. Well, part of the reason those happen, yes, it's based on what you've watched previously, but it's also based upon the number of comments and subscribers that each YouTube creator has. So the more of that, the more the YouTube channel rises to the top where more people can see it. And for my friends and I, we do this. This is our hobby. We enjoy doing it. But let's face it, our um, scale of success is basically based upon how many subscribers we have. Yeah. And the more subscribers we have, the better we feel about what we're doing. Because what that says to us, quite seriously, is we're doing something right. People are interested in what we have to deliver. I mean, if you weren't, why bother, right? So please, you can help us all out. You can help out Stephanie at Stephanie Stitches, Sean at The Guy Who Sews, Adam at Adam Sews, Russ at Quilt Meets World, and Shannon at Slay Arts, simply by going to those sites, if those are ones you go to regularly, and if you haven't, check them out. They're worth checking out. And leave a comment or hit the like button. And if you haven't subscribed, because a lot of people don't subscribe, I'm finding. They just look at them and don't think about subscribing. There's no danger about subscribing. You are not going to get unsolicited emails. You are not going to have your identity jeopardized. It doesn't cost anything. And as I've said previously, it helps us out as creators. So if you watch one of us or several of us on a regular basis and you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe. Please, please. We beg of you. And I don't beg. So, yeah. But do check them out. All of these creators have become my friends, although only one of them have I ever met in person, and that's Stephanie. But maybe someday, who knows, I'll get to meet everybody else. I'm going to get to meet Russ at Christmas time. I know that. But yeah, so those links are in there, and they're a permanent link, meaning that they'll always be in my show notes. Okay, there is a link to all of my videos from last week if you haven't caught up on those yet. And yeah, so lots of information there for you. Okay, let's take a look at what's happening with the weather here. As I said, this is a long weekend, and the weather has been a little sketchy throughout the weekend. It's been pleasant here where I live on Saturday. And yesterday it was okay too, but as the day went on, it got a little bit overcast, and we had a lot of rain last night. Well, it sounded like a lot of rain. I don't know. I didn't get up and look out my window. I could just hear it. And you can see from this picture from my Ring camera that we still look a little moist. And it's looking like it's still overcast and with the potential of more rain. I haven't looked at the forecast for the day, but that's what it looks like. And those little blurry marks, I'm not trying to censor something out of the picture here. That's water on the lens of the Ring camera. Yeah. So it'll dry up eventually. So I don't know what today's going to bring. Right now, it looks like for sure, probably rain. Okay, so that takes me to what's pissing me off this week. It's age. I've talked about age before. And I'm 66 years old. Is that old? Well, if you're 20, it is. If you're 80, you're just a kid. But being 66, I'm moving towards 70. Hard to believe. But I've always enjoyed, knock wood, thank the Lord, I have always enjoyed good health in my life. But your body starts to break down as you get older, doesn't it? And I used to say, age is only a number. You're as old as you feel, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, well, there are some days when I'm quite aware of my age. A lot of it has to do with this thing I've been having with my arm, which has now been diagnosed. The doctor called me. I have tendinitis and this word is not a hard word. Bursitis. That's the word I want. But for some reason, my brain, which maybe that's part of old age too. I don't know. Anyways, that's what I have. So basically, there's not a heck of a lot they can do for me. I guess eventually it may, if I'm lucky, it just goes away, but it could reoccur. My doctor, in her great pill-pushing wisdom, decided she'd push on me some pills that I'm not going to take. They're anti-inflammatories. and I've done lots of reading about them, this naproxen, and a lot of you have been telling me all about naproxen too. It's basically, it's very hard on your stomach. Yes, there are things you can take to coat your stomach, all that kind of stuff. Everybody has their suggestions about what the best way is to handle it. My doctor seems to think there isn't a problem with that, although I haven't really talked to her directly about it, and I probably should, and I probably will. She just writes a prescription, says take 2 of these a day with food for 30 days. If I was to do that, yeah, I might not have any pain in my arm, but I also probably won't have any stomach lining left. And this happened to my dad. Um, he suffered badly from bad knee problems, from arthritis and stuff like that. And there was a drug called Celebrex, which I imagine is still on the market and probably shouldn't be. And basically, it was an anti-inflammatory as well. And what his doctor didn't tell him was that it could have horrible effects on your stomach. And it did, and my dad got an ulcer because of that. And then here was the doctor's attitude. Oh, yeah, forgot about that. Probably should have prescribed a thing for you to take before you take the Celebrex to coat your stomach. Now, you know what I'm thinking right now. First of all, I don't like doctors, period. I don't. I think there's too much hype, too much dependency put upon doctors in our society. I mean, yes, they're supposed to know what they're doing, and yes, they are a help to us. However, doctors are people, they're individuals, and we never see what their final grades were in med school, do we? Is there a difference between a doctor who got straight A's and a doctor who got a good steady C's? Which one do you want to see? I don't know. Yes, I do. But that we're never going to find out. My doctor, she's very nice, pleasant bedside manner, all that kind of stuff. However, she pushes tests and pushes pills. Every time you go to see her about anything, it's, oh, well, we should get that tested, and she sends you for an x-ray, an ultrasound, whatever, to this or to this specialist and that specialist. And if she's not sending you to a specialist, or even if she is sending you to a specialist, she's also prescribing some kind of drug. Well, I don't take drugs. There's something ironic right now as I sit here and I say I don't take drugs. Can you guess what the irony is? Yeah. Yes, I do take marijuana, but I take it in the form of a gummy, an edible. I don't smoke it, and the only time I take one of those is when I'm having trouble sleeping, because I've got a strain of it that helps put me to sleep a little bit. And they're delicious as well. They're gummies. Anyways, I digress. So, she's constantly pushing these pills. Now, I know, I've seen some documentaries, and okay, you may have to take some of it with a grain of salt. You never know what their agenda is in a documentary. But they basically show that, there's kickbacks to the doctors. Recommend this pill. And the salespeople are like used car salespeople. They tell you all of this about the pills, blah, blah, blah. A doctor can only absorb so much information at any given time, just like the rest of us, right? So yeah, they go, okay, yeah, well, that sounds good. I have a few patients that might benefit from that, so I'll prescribe it. The person who really knows is the pharmacologist, because they spend years studying the chemical compounds and everything like that in drugs and things like that, and I imagine keep up on the current drugs as well. It's their job. That's what they do. So when I picked up this prescription for the anti-inflammatory, I went and spoke to the pharmacist. The pharmacist I go to, the pharmacy I go to, the guy who's the head pharmacist, has the personality of an artichoke. He is horrible. Horrible. He has, I don't see any signs of him having any kind of social etiquette or anything like that. The man may know what he's talking about, but the way he talks about it doesn't give you a reassuring feeling about anything. So I asked him about this drug. Every question I asked, I got a yes or a no. I did not get an explanation. I got nothing more. For example, I said, so this drug can be harmful to my stomach. Yes. Now, at that point, what I was looking for, and I guess I wasn't specific enough, I was looking for, but this is what you can do to counteract that if there is something. No, he didn't say that. And actually, I didn't really ask that question either. So, maybe it's my bad. But yeah. So I came to the conclusion after my discussion with the pharmacologist or pharmacist was I'm not taking the pill. Nope. Walter says, take it if the pain is really bad. Just take one kind of a thing. Other people suggested the same thing, but also recommend that I make sure I've taken some food because that'll help protect my stomach. In fact, one person who I trust her opinion very much, Stephanie, said, have some ice cream and then take the pill. And she was serious because of dairy products coat your stomach, right? And you know me and ice cream. Don't have to tell me twice to take ice cream. Thank you, doctor. That's a prescription I like. But the bottom line is I'm not taking them. Now, my arm is feeling better. Now it's not aching as much at night. It's still a little sore. Like if I do this, don't do that. It does hurt a little bit. And I'm being very conscious not to lift anything really heavy with this hand. And I'm hoping, from what I've read, that this will eventually resolve itself, if I'm lucky. But the whole point of what I am saying about all of this is the fact of how it makes you feel. Not just aches and pains and that, but the whole fact that you're getting old. When you were young, think about it. You were outside all day running around, stretching every muscle in your body, and maybe occasionally you hurt yourself, but you recovered very quickly and you didn't think anything of it, and on you went with your life. At this age, no, we can't do that. And that's really kind of pissing me off with doctors because they handle old people as if, yeah, this is to be expected. Now, there is a poem, a very famous poem, and I used it in the title today of today's vlog, and it's by Dylan Thomas, and you've probably have heard it because it starts like this: do not go gentle into that good night. Old age should burn and rave at close of day. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. And to me, what those 3 lines of that poem are saying are, don't give in to this, to old age. Don't accept the answer that just because you're old, you can expect to have these aches and pains. Take control of your own life and your own health. And that's what I'm doing by refusing to take this drug. As I said, I have it. It's for an emergency only. And that means I am in so much pain that that's the only way to get around it. But right now, as I said, things are healing, and I guess I should be celebrating my age and not dreading it. Because if I'm going to spend every day of my life dreading getting older, because I can't go backwards, can I? Be nice, but we can't. So, take each day as it comes, I guess, is what I'm saying. And of course, you can't help go into platitudes when you're talking about something like this, can you? Because we hear them all the time. Age is just a number. Enjoy each day to the fullest. Don't worry your life away. Okay, yeah, easier said than done, those kind of things. But, just be a little more careful, I guess. Use a handrail when you're going downstairs. Don't be wearing slippery things on your feet on carpet. You may want to rethink jumping out of an airplane, with or without a parachute. Do what you need to do to be you and to enjoy your life. But old age does not have, just because we're at a certain number doesn't mean we have to roll up in a ball and die. My mother did that. She did. My mother would still be here if it hadn't been for the fact that she just gave up on life. So I don't, and I think of that. I think of that all the time when I start to worry about, old age symptoms and that kind of thing. I don't want to be my mother. So let us get on with living, shall we? All right, moving on. That was kind of all over the place, wasn't it? I don't pre-write these things. I guess you can tell. Okay, so let's talk about Temu. It is the flavor of the month or of the year since they got started back in the fall last year. It's all the rage on YouTube. Everybody's doing Temu unboxings and hauls and reviews and things like that. And I've done a couple myself, as you well know. And do I like Temu? Yeah, for the most part, I do like Temu. Why do I like Temu? Well, everything I've gotten from Temu so far has been no problem. Has worked well. Prices are really, really good to the point of almost unbelievable. And shipping, although it's not Amazon Prime next day, it's still within 7 days usually. 7 to 10 days. I can live with that. And they do have a good return policy. And if they're late getting your order to you, they give you a $5 credit as well. What's not to like? Tricks. Tricks. Okay. I decided, I've been watching some YouTube videos where they've been reviewing electronics that come from Temu. I bought some. I showed them last week to you as well. Actually, no, I'm getting ahead of myself. I have a video of the latest electronics that I bought from Temu, and then I'm going to show that to you right now, and then I'm going to come back and show you something else that I've discovered about Temu that isn't so positive. So, last week or a week and a half ago, I ordered a bunch of electronic things from Temu, and they have arrived. And it's a really small package, but they tend to get a lot into even small packages. So these were bought on an impulse. I saw somebody reviewing some of these products from Temu on a YouTube channel, and I thought, they sounded like fun. And basically, I have no specific purpose for any of these items that I purchased here. These are all, stab myself with my scissors. These are all just things I thought were cool. So let's see what we got. I spent about $20, maybe 25, just to see what this would be like. Okay. Tight little package. All right, let's pull out the first package. First package is this. Now this, they do squish them in. Mode, color, power, mic. There's a mic on it, and type C. Now what this is a light. And it's just for fun. I'm thinking about using it in conjunction with my microphones. Oh, I think I missed a piece. I did. Stand. Now it does come with a set of instructions. It's called an RGB sound control colorful music atmosphere lamp. So when I saw this, it kind of reminded me of back in the day light organs. If you remember those back in the 70s, these light displays, which were usually very gigantic, and they moved to the music, to the beat of the music. This has a protective piece of plastic on it, so let's remove that. Now, fits in this little stand. Okay, easy, easy. It did come with a charging cable, a USB cable. Okay, and it has mode, color, and bright power. Let's see if the power happens. Oh, I have power. It's not doing anything though. Can you see that? Oh, it went off. It may need to be charged up. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be staying on. So I may have to charge this up. So I will do that, and I'll come back and show you how this works, if it works, later. Now, I believe I bought 2 of these, and I did. Here's the second one in the box. So I'll charge those up after I've shown you these things and come back and show you how they work. Now, I got 2 other little things here. All right. Wait, I thought I ordered another device. And I don't see the other device in here. I'm going to have to check my order. Maybe I just changed my mind about that, because this is just another one of these light stands. I did buy 2 of these. I think they were something like $7 a piece or something like that. If I can get the rest of it out. Instructions, stand. Took that piece off. So let's just see if this one has any charge to it. Not much. And I'm just playing with the buttons. I should probably read instructions. Yeah, I have a feeling it's not enough charge on them yet. I'm hoping that's what the problem is. So we'll charge those. I bought this. Now this looks like a pencil, an iPad pencil, and that is what it is. They call it an active stylus. I saw a guy ordered one of these because he didn't have one. I do. And I ordered it because, and it has a charging cable as well, because both Walter and I have iPencils, but Walter never uses his. Well, I never use mine either. But they charge by putting them on top of your iPad, and that's how the original Apple pencils charge up. These ones, though, look like you have to plug it in. The plastic is very substantial, though, very much the same as the Apple Pencil, which I paid $100 and some odd for. This I paid $5, something like that. I don't know if it's got any charge to it right now. Now I know that you push in the top of the button to use it, and I'm just going to draw on my screen here and see if anything happens. And well, I can't tell when I'm in this mode on this screen. I'll have to play with it as well. Oh, there's a bit of charge though to it, quite a bit. So again, I will come back after I have tried this and let you know how it works. Now, I'm pretty sure there was another thing that I ordered, but I'll have to check. I may have taken, no, I took that off my order. I bought another kind of light display thing, and I decided things were getting a little too pricey, and I didn't really need it. What was I going to do with it? So yeah, I didn't get it. But I got these. And what are these? These are little clamps for my 3D printer. And essentially, and these will hold down your bed. I have one printer that the bed doesn't hang on very well for some reason, and I thought these might be good to have. And you got 4 of them for about $5. Actually, I think they were $3.98 for that. So I thought I'd give them a try and just see, you know, what they will do. At first, I thought they were metal, but they're not. They're just little plastic pieces. Probably could design something like this on a 3D printer, and there's probably something already out there designed for a 3D printer like this. But anyways, I'm just trying things on Temu. To date, anything that I've ordered from Temu, I have not been disappointed in. We'll see about these lights and about this pen, as I said, and I will come back and let you know what happens. I couldn't wait to show you these little lights. I have them plugged in right now and they're recharging, but this is what they do. You see, they're voice activated. And I'm thinking that I'm going to have them on either side of my microphones here on my desk. And then I know that, well, no, I won't know if my microphones are working. Why am I thinking that? That wouldn't tell me. It's just a fun little display on my desk. And I think I'm just using them as decoration more than anything else. Yeah. But they're fun, but I'll let them fully charge up and we'll see what happens. And I did test out the pen, the Apple Pencil or Apple Pen, whatever you want to call it, the knockoff, and it works. No problem. It worked right out of the box. So, you know, if you need a new one, and you don't want to spend 130, 140, 150 bucks for an Apple original, that might be the way to go on Temu. However, having said that, how long will it last? I don't use them very often, so this is going to end up just being a spare, because Walter did get his Apple Pencil recharged. He didn't think it was going to take a charge, and it did. So, but anyways, just fun electronic things from Temu, and I love electronics. So I may be purchasing a few other fun little items as time goes by from them as well. I'm still debating on whether I should buy the $18.99 3D printer. I wonder. So those were all the fun little devices that I got from Temu, and they're all working to my satisfaction. So that's great. So then I thought, I've been playing with this idea. I thought it might be fun. They have 3D printers for like under $19 on Temu. Yes, 3D printers. Now they're not huge. In fact, I think they're toys basically. And I think their build plates are like 4 inches by 4 inches by 4 inches. So that's about a quarter of the size of what I own. But the price is really cheap, and I'm curious, do these really work? So I thought, for shits and giggles, I would order one. So I went on, I clicked on the picture to add to my cart, and lo and behold, although it was advertised as $18.97, it came up $129. I thought there was a mistake. So I pushed some more buttons and back and forth, and nope, that was not the mistake. So I did a little video about this because this is something I think you need to be aware of if you're going to order products from Temu. I'm going to put that in here right now. I found out something very interesting about Temu, which I did not know before. I had seen some very, very cheap 3D printers, and I couldn't believe that these would actually work. So I thought maybe I'd pick one up just to see what it was like. So I went to the page with 3D printers, and you can see here there are several of them. And right on the first line, the cheapest one here is $18.47 Canadian. So let's just see. It's supposedly a lightning deal. All right, let's click on it, or let's go to add to cart. Now, there it is, $18.47. It says Easy Thread Mini 3D Printer Beginner's Entry Level Fast Heating Low Noise with free PLA TPU 0.75 millimeter filament printing size 4x4x4. Very cheap, very small. I doubt it works. However, you get down here, model, and they have two buttons. One says printer black, and one says black PLA, which is the filament. Quantity 1. Okay. Add to cart. Now this happens. It wants you, says select model to add to cart. Well, the model is, as it says here, it is a K7 3D printer black. Let's click on that. Oh, suddenly the price just jumped to $128.85 from 18 whatever it was. That is weird. Now, if I click on the PLA, it's $18.47. But the printer is $128. But that's not what this said. It says Easy Thread Mini 3D Printer Beginner's Entry Level. So it's leading you to believe that you are buying this printer for $18 and some odd cents, but you are not. But if you weren't watching this carefully, you'd just say add to my cart and may not even realize that you just spent $128 instead of $18 and some odd cents for it. So we do not want that. Well, is that just the case for this particular printer here? Okay, here's one for $20.97. Basically, it's the same printer. Another thing you have to watch on Temu, there's the same products, but there's various prices. Even this one looks pretty much the same. It's for $152.54, but let's go to this $20.97 one and click on that. Okay, Easy Thread, nice way of spelling thread, Thread Mini 3D Printer K7 for Beginners, upgraded extruder technology, small 3D printer, fast heating, low noise with free PLA filament, printer size 4x4x4. Okay, $20.97, free shipping. All right, here's this print for the color. All right, color is black. Oh, wait, it's $20.97. But when I print on color black, it becomes $125.20. Huh, I don't think so. So let's go back to this and say add to cart. $20.97, but it wants you, it will not let me not. So if I don't select that, if I don't want to select the color, add to cart, it won't let me do it. It says select color. It won't let me do it. So I can select that white color. Okay, that's white. $20.97. Add to cart. But see what's added to the cart? Just the filament. So let's get rid of that. And let's go back here. Nope. To add that to the cart, it's going to be $125.20. So isn't that interesting? Something that you need to be aware of when you're shopping on Temu. This is the first time I have come across this. So yeah, I figured the price for $18.47 was, too good to be true, even if it is a small little toy 3D printer. So buyer beware. So I guess the bottom line is with Temu, buyer beware. Okay, don't be spending a lot of money on Temu all at once until, you know that you can trust whatever it is that you're buying from them. Okay, so that takes me to our grow lights. Now, we've had a little bit of a lull in all of this. What I mean is, Walter cleaned out the grow lights, as you can see in this picture, and he's planted some new things. It's lettuce. He has lettuce in those trays, and they're just starting to pop up. We have lettuce coming up outside as well, which is great. We have come to the conclusion that the best crop for grow lights for us is lettuce because it just grows all the time. So that's good. I think he's going to start some more pepper plants as well because they seem to do okay too, and maybe some herbs as well. We have a lot of this stuff outside. I think we've kind of given up, maybe we've given up on tomatoes. The tomato plants just, we got a couple of tomatoes off them when they were indoors, and they're outside. They're going to be late this year because of us, not because of nature. And well, we'll see. But I don't think we're necessarily going to do tomatoes through the winter. I don't know. I kind of want to. I blame a lot of it on the seeds that we used for the tomato plants this year. I bought them from Amazon, and they were kind of a mixed bag of seeds. You didn't know what you were getting, and I think we should be a little bit more selective about the seeds and maybe give it another try. I'll have to convince him of that. I don't know what else, though, that we could grow, like, and I'm thinking now through the fall, the winter months, and stuff like that in terms of produce, that'll do okay under the grow lights. I need to do a little bit more research on that kind of thing. But maybe some of you out there have had good luck with certain things besides tomatoes and peppers and lettuce and herbs under your grow lights, if you do grow lights. And you can let me know in the comments whether or not, what you could recommend that you think might do well under grow lights. We can investigate it. So the experiment goes on, and here's what things are looking like, and they're kind of sad. This is, these are pretty much at the tail end of their life. You can see, I think there's a couple of peppers still hanging on here. Walter's cleaned up this area a little bit. A lot of leaves dropping down in there in this little grow corner. He is talking about possibly taking these pepper plants in their pots and just putting them outside on the deck. I don't know. I don't think they're going to necessarily rejuvenate and flower and we have peppers again, but then we can try and see what happens with that. Yeah, so that's the state of our grow lights at the moment. And yeah, the experiment goes on. Oh, one picture I forgot to show you. When I got up this morning and was looking out at the plants on the deck, I was greeted by this little guy. Yeah, he's a little sticky-toed tree frog kind of a thing. Stuck to our glass. I don't know. Does he want to come in? I don't know what made him do that. We had one last year who was curled up under our barbecue cover. We had two barbecues at that point when we were getting rid of one, but we had the cover for it. It was sitting out there on a chair because we were too lazy to fold it up. And one of these little guys was living under there for quite a while. And then we didn't want to disturb him because it gets really warm out on that deck. And we thought, well, maybe where he is, he's sort of shaded and, you know, he's protected. And he lived there for quite a while. I don't know what he was eating. But he wasn't any bigger than this little guy. So they're kind of cute. Look at those toes on them. So anyways, I thought I'd share that picture with you. Okay, so what's happening in the 3D corner? Well, I already mentioned the fact that I'm kind of caught up on the things that I've been working on for quite a long time. I'm still having trouble getting my beds leveled exactly the way I want them. So I have a theory about something that I want to try out, but I need to get on with them, clean them up today and things like that, and see what else I need for some things that I'm making as gifts. Make sure I have everything that I need from that. So nothing really to show you right now. Okay, that takes me to blasts from the past and trips. This is another zoo. We went to a lot of zoos when we were in Australia and New Zealand in 2016. And this is one called the Featherdale Zoo. And I can't remember about this one or not, or whether there was one zoo we went to I wasn't impressed with. I didn't like the way that the animals were being treated or the way they were being housed and that kind of thing. And it might have been this zoo. I can't really remember, but here's the video. Here we are at Featherdale Wildlife Park, and supposedly we can touch the animals here like we did in that one in New Zealand. We'll soon find out.
Professional photo, you can take your own
Pero igual no vas a poner todas, tenemos... No. All tuckered out. That bit is a... Some more of those long beak things again. Still don't know what they are. That's his picture taken too. He says, I don't have to be in the cage. Cute little thing. Okay, so our tour is done and we're getting on this ferry to take us back to Sydney Opera House. And from there we'll go back to the hotel. Our package included a free drink on this cruise here, so Walter's up getting us a couple of beers right now. And we're sitting on this ferry. It's comfortable. Holds a lot of people, that's for sure.
So that takes me to events in the past week. Well, on Saturday, we had a pop-up sew day. We had about maybe 20 people at that, which was a little less than we usually get on a pop-up sew day, but it was the long weekend, as I've already said, here in Canada, and the weather across North America varied, but, you know, if it was nice weather, people had plans, I am sure. A few people did write to me and say that they were sorry they missed it. You didn't have to write to me. It's okay. It's come and go as you please for that kind of thing. But, you know, they had like a family picnic to go to or some other event, and that's fine. Life happens, right? But those of us that were there, I think we all got a lot done. I know I did. I got the bulk of that cat scratch quilt done, and it was funny. Usually we're very chatty people on there. And we had moments of that on Saturday, but a lot of it was we had long periods of silence because everybody had their nose to the grindstone kind of a thing working away. But you know, there's still something, even if people aren't talking up a storm, there's still something energizing about getting together with other people and working on your own projects kind of a deal. It helps motivate me anyways, and I think other people, I've heard them say that too. So anyways, when's the next pop-up sew day? Have no idea. Will there be another one this month? Possibly. For sure there'll be one at some point in September. But, you know, I never know when the mood hits me. And you'll be the first to know. Yeah. Okay. So, what else? Well, Walter got the kill switch system put onto his new vehicle. Basically, if someone tries to hijack his car, they won't be able to start it unless they have the secret code for the PIN number, basically. And the PIN number is not put in with numbers. I can't tell you any more about that. Yeah, but it's supposedly they work very well. It wasn't really cheap. I think it was about $300 to have this in, but it's in and seems to be doing what it's supposed to do. Now, apparently, in Montreal, they were having a lot of car thefts as well as we are out here in the Toronto area. And a lot of people were getting these kind of systems and other security type systems on their cars, and it has really made a difference, apparently, with the number of thefts of cars. So insurance agencies here in Ontario are encouraging, in fact, they're demanding, threatening actually, for people to have some of these security systems put into their cars, or they're going to raise your rates. Yeah, so basically it is a threat. They will give you about $150 or something like that back rebate to cover, you know, part of the cost of installing something in your car. We are waiting to see. We're still dealing with the insurance agency about the accident, so we'll see what comes of that. But Walter's basically paranoid that someone's going to steal his car, so his car is now in the garage. My little vintage vehicle, my 2008 Honda Civic, is in the driveway. And my poor baby was not used to that because for her whole life, she's always been in a garage. But, you know, no one's going to want to steal my car. It's, you know, 14-year-old Honda Civic. It's a good car. Yeah, runs fine, runs great. keep talking about going and get the oil change, get the wheels checked, my fluids checked. Got to do that at some point because this hasn't been done since before the pandemic. So yeah, it's time. But no one's going to steal that car. But Walter's, yes. So yeah. So his is in the garage and mine is out and bearing the elements. My poor baby. So what else in the past week? Yeah, well, you heard about the doctor. I went, got an X-ray, got an ultrasound. You know all the blah blah about that too. Always a thrill to go to the doctor, isn't it? Yeah. So what's coming up? Well, we have friends that live in the city that are coming out for the weekend, next weekend, to visit us. These are good friends. We've had them for pretty much almost as long as Walter and I have been together. So hard to believe. These are probably our oldest friends. We've known them for 40 years. And they're coming out for the weekend. We do this usually twice a year. They come out here, we go in there. Although they live right in downtown Toronto. And with the way Toronto is these days, I have no desire to go into Toronto whatsoever. I'd rather they came here. You know, I just feel a little bit more secure with that. I guess they're used to it. They've lived there pretty much all their lives. So, yeah. But anyways, it'll be nice to see them. So that means we have to do some prep stuff this week for din-dins and brekkies and things like that. Get that all sorted out. Make sure we're well supplied with wine and other beverages. And yeah, and on Friday, we are delivering my Quilt of Valor quilt to a lady who's a representative of the Quilts of Valor program that lives east of us by about an hour and 15 minutes. And yes, they are taking it. Yes, they are taking it. And I'll say more about that tomorrow on the Idiot Quilter. But yes, I'm very happy, very pleased that my quilt is not rejected because I washed it. So yeah, so that's coming up. And what else? I guess that's about it. Yep. So I just want to remind you, if you're not a subscriber to me and you are happy with my content, you like to be here, then please subscribe. It's going to help me out. My subscriptions are slowly going up all the time. My goal is to have 10,000 by the end of the year. I'm nowhere near, well, I'm not that far away from it, but I think soon I may go over 9,000, but that's still 1,000 away from the goal. So if you're one of those people that come to my videos on a regular basis, please subscribe. It's going to help me out a little bit. I hate having to say that because I sound like all the rest of the creators out there, but it is true. Okay, enough about me. It's all about you. I hope you have a great week. I hope those of you that are enjoying the long weekend here in Canada, I hope today will be better weather for you for the last day of the holiday. And yeah, have a good one. We'll talk to you later. Bye for now.